Thank you for joining 9 Plus. This is Cory McIntyre here with your News West 9 Sports, and we have two special guests in the studio joining with me. I'm here with Evan Harrington and his wife, Daniela Harrington. Welcome to News West 9.
Thank you for having us.
Correct me if I'm wrong. It's all about helping kids succeed in life through sports. So can you just tell me all about I-9 Sports and what is really about?
Yeah, so I-9 Sports, we are a youth franchise. We're all over America. We serve about 6 million kids together through our 500 franchises. And our whole thing is putting the fun back in sports the way youth sports should be. And we focus on character building first and then skill development second.
And as a young athlete, I grew up playing basketball in the city of Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
So can you tell me how, if I was to join I-9 Sports as a 8-year-old, what's some of the life building things that you would teach me as an 8-year-old in I-9 Sports?
Yeah, for me, it's all about the foundation. The past 3 seasons I coached with the Dallas Cowboys, and I'm taking all the lessons that we use at the professional level and now giving those lessons to our youth and helping build the future leaders of tomorrow. You learn things like teamwork, you learn things like accountability, and every day when you come to our sports program, you will have a word, and we'll ask you about that word first. We'll play our sports, and then we'll go back to that word and say, okay, how did you use teamwork today? How did you encourage your teammates today? So that's our whole thing, building character first, skill development second, and then a family-friendly atmosphere for our parents.
And speaking of teamwork,
Mm-hmm.
It seems like you all make a great team.
Yep.
We spoke off camera. You all been married 10 years, and
Mm-hmm.
that's just amazing. So how can you tell me how she's helped you on your journey and he's helped you on your journey with I-9 Sports?
Well, I'll let Daniela go first.
Well, we work together as a team, and what I can cover, he covers, and the other way around. I do more in the back end, he's going to do more on the field. So, yes, I would say we are a great team.
Yeah, for me, with her being an educator, being a teacher, she brings the structure to everything. Why are we doing this? Okay, she's bringing the why, and then I'm bringing the how. So it's a perfect teamwork and team dynamic that we have on the field. So.
And just speaking about I-9 Sports as a whole, you just told me what it meant. So how will I-9 Sports ultimately impact West Texas once it's officially up and running?
Yeah, so our first event will be at Bunch Elementary School, July 22nd through the 25th. We've partnered with Nike to put on this event, and first and foremost, it's all about the community. And I say that because we'll have current high school athletes out there helping coach the kids. Why is that important? Because they're telling our campers their journey to being successful high school athletes. They're also getting community service hours while they're doing that, and then getting their letter of recommendations to their college. I always tell athletes, one day that ball is going to stop bouncing. So now how are we preparing ourselves to be successful in life? And you're doing that right now by our high school athletes attending our camp, learning from our former professional coaches and athletes who will be coaching at the camp, and learning, okay, what did they do once the ball stopped bouncing? We got guys who became agents, guys who are doing marketing. So that's how we're impacting the community. We're also really big on, again, I'm gonna keep saying it, but we're building our future leaders of tomorrow by doing what? Focusing on character first, skill development second, and in a family-friendly atmosphere.
And how has your intensive coaching history, how is that going to play a huge factor in what you do for these kids, both on and off the field, court, or whatever sport that they may be participating in?
Well, being a former coach, I've had the pleasure and been blessed to be impacted by a lot of great men while I was playing and while I was coaching. Coaching for America's team is definitely different. I'm forever grateful for that. But all the lessons that I learned on the field, I was able to apply those off the field. And I think all the parents and all the people who participate in our summer programs and in our fall sports programs, they'll get to feel that impact as well.
And speaking of America's team, we know West Texans out here love the Cowboys. So can you possibly give us just a little take of, how it was just being a part of America's team?
It's nothing like it. I grew up in Washington, D.C., but I grew up a huge Cowboys fan, so it was a dream come true. When you have players like Dak Prescott, DeMarcus Lawrence, it makes the job easier. But when you have an owner like Mr. Jones, it also makes the job easier because you can talk to them outside of football and learn what it takes to be successful. And I want to bring the same thing to West Texas, where I'm talking to these young kids about what it means to be successful. I'm bringing in members of the community, like my uncle John Volk, who runs Crew Support Services, and he's able to mentor to these young kids if they want to get into entrepreneurship, if they want to be real estate agents, and etc.
And I have a question for you, Ms. Harrington. So you came over from Switzerland, to obviously be with Mr. Harrington. So what did you see in him just as a person, as a coach, as an overall leader that he is, to take a chance and, follow him in his dream and then ultimately accompany him and help him?
Well, I've seen a lot of myself in him. The passion that we share of giving back into the next generation, pouring into them and letting them share a little bit of our journey, like what we went through and what we were able to experience, like that profound impact that sports can have on every kid, and how we witnessed it through our life, and that we want to give back. And yes.
That is beautiful. That is beautiful. And I just have one more question for you, and I think it's the most important question. And I had this question ever since you reached out to me, wanting to, actually get this interview going. Why do you do what you do? I mean, you could have stayed, an NFL coach. You could have went to a college, and coached those athletes, established athletes. But why do you want to pour back into the youth?
I want to pour back into the youth because I've had great people pour back into me. And my only prayer to the man above is that people do the same thing to my young boys. That one of these campers who will be here, one of the camp counselors that are high school players that are there, when my kids get older and they're looking for advice, they can go to them. And I wish the same thing for everyone who attends our events, that our campers, our camp counselors, once they get older, they might be reaching out to you as well, saying, hey, how do I be on TV? How can I become a news broadcaster on TV? So that's why I do it. I do it for my family, and I do it because people did it for me.
And last but not least, I just want you to just tell me and just educate the people when I-9 Sports is going to officially hit the ground running in West Texas.
Yeah, so we're going to hit the ground running July 22nd through the 25th at Bunch Elementary School. It'll be an all-day camp from 9 to 4. Your kids will learn basketball, football, baseball, and soccer from our excellent coaching staff, and that'll be for 4 days. And then after that, we'll have our fall sports where we'll be doing soccer, flag football, and baseball. If you're interested in learning more, you can visit i9sports.com.
Well, you heard it here, folks. I just want to thank you, Mr. Harrington, and you, Ms. Harrington, for taking the time out and coming out, speaking with me, educating us all on I-9 Sports and what it is, and I'm so excited to see what you do here in West Texas.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, and that will be it. Thank you for joining us, and we'll be right back.